From firing his own son from movie roles to being told he'd never make it as an actor because of his Adam's apple, Clint Eastwood has never exactly done things the way Hollywood expected. And that same attitude shows up in the way he directs his movies.
He treats actors like horses.
In what way?
Well, here's the deal. When he was doing Rawhide, he had all these old movie directors who just loved the megaphones and the attention, and that whole build-up to action would make the horses go like this. And so one day he said, you know, in his indomitable way, is there any way that you could just, you know, just tell us to go instead of saying action, so the horses won't flee? So Clint goes like this, and everybody else goes like this, which means you're rolling, and then he's standing right next to you, and he says, okay, go ahead. And then you do it. And maybe he'll say, just take that again, just do it one more time. And then you do it, he says, all right, that's enough of that.
Even an A-list star like Matt Damon quickly learned that on a Clint Eastwood set, the first take is usually the last.
The very first take, you know, I did it, and meanwhile, I've done this so many thousands of times. I have, you know, a number of different ways that I'm thinking of maybe doing the scene. So he goes, cut, Brent, move on. I go, hang on. Boss, you know, I want to do another one? I mean,
I wasn't even in costume.
And he goes, why? You want to waste everybody's time?
Oh my God.
And I went, no, I guess we're moving on.
He once went to meet the legendary director Alfred Hitchcock for a potential project, but the meeting was so quiet and still that Clint honestly started wondering things.
But they told me at that time his health might preclude doing that project. But I went over and had lunch with him, and it was kind of like watching a piece of history.
Yeah. Did you admire his work at the time?
Yeah, I admired his work, and I walked in the room. It was very interesting because when I walked in the room, he never moved. He never moved a muscle. He was just sitting there, and just his eyes would follow you as you'd walk across the room, just like that. And I thought, well, he died, and maybe something had gone wrong there. But,
yeah, he's dead.
But we didn't. We finally walked over to a table and sat down and had a meal. It took us about 15 minutes to get over there, but it was great.
Yeah.
And but he was terrific, but very lucid when we started talking. He was terrific.
Clint had a very different approach to movie gunfights than the old school heroes. While John Wayne cared about honor and fair fights, Clint had a much more practical and much deadlier logic for handling bad guys.
Your character was, I think, the first movie character, really, who didn't wait for the other guy to draw his gun.
Yeah.
You shot first.
Yeah, well, it doesn't make sense. Why would you wait for somebody to draw their gun? American Westerns, I never could understand that. And I remember Don Siegel got in trouble when he was doing a film called The Shootist some years later, and he was working with John Wayne. The villain sneaks around the room, and John Wayne comes up behind him, and he says, then just shoot him. And he said, there was a long pause, and he said, John Wayne said, you mean I shoot him in the back? And he says, yeah, you shoot him, just shoot him, get rid of him, because you got 4 other guys. And he says, I don't shoot anyone in the back. And Don made a terrible error. He said, Clint Eastwood would have shot him in the back. And he said, Wayne turned blue. You see? And he said, I don't care what that kid would have done. I don't shoot him in the back.
Long before he became an icon, Clint was actually kicked out of a studio on the same day as another future superstar. His friend was told he just wasn't talented enough, but Clint was given a very different reason.
I heard a story, I don't know if it's true.
It's
but
true.
Okay. There's a story I heard that you and Clint Eastwood both got started around the same time, and that you were both fired from Universal Pictures on the same day. As young guys getting started out, because they found fault with both of you. Why would they fire you, Clint Eastwood, or you? I mean,
well, Clint, they said, you talk too slow, and your tooth is chipped, and you won't get it fixed. And you don't listen to anybody. You just want to do things your own way.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, why are you firing me? And they said, you can't act.
Muhammad Ali wasn't exactly impressed by the tough guy acting in Western movies. He was convinced that looking like a legend in Hollywood is really just about two very simple grooming choices.
I mean, you know, those fellas have to do a lot of riding and shooting to get your attention. All he's got to do is to need a shave and put a dark cigarette in his mouth.
Even at a tribute for his life's work, Clint wasn't safe from being roasted. Don Rickles looked him right in the eye and delivered a review of his acting that most stars would never recover from.
Clint, I say it, nobody else has said it, and I say it from my heart. You're a lousy actor. Spielberg and all these guys at the table, oh, we know Clint. I know you. Clint's idea of a good time is sitting on a pickup truck watching his dog bark. Mother Eastwood is laughing, knowing damn well you never had so much money in your whole life. But you know, Clint, and I know that I have so much on you, which I won't say tonight. Because if I spill it out, you're going to be back in Rawhide.
Being the son of a legend does not mean you get a free pass. In fact, when Scott Eastwood finally got a role in one of his dad's movies, it felt less like acting and more like a very public family therapy session.
Your father, of course, Clint Eastwood, and I just wanted to mention it's gotta be strange because I would think, okay, this is your dad.
Who again?
Clint. His name's Clint Eastwood.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
I heard
that
him.
guy.
Yeah.
And what's interesting to me is that I learned that you have to audition for his movies, which seems weird to me because you'd think he'd know what you can do, what you can't do.
Yeah, no. No. He does not. He does not. I don't think he likes me in his movies. You know, because here's the thing. He's put me in a few movies, and I've auditioned for a lot and haven't got a lot. And then Gran Torino came around where he was talking to me. It was just like this little role.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
you got a call.
he's supposed to. His character's supposed to be giving your character a hard time.
Yeah, exactly. He's calling me a pussy and a, you know, spoiled little brat or whatever. And so he gave me that role, and on the day we were shooting it, there was a lot of stuff that came out that wasn't on the script there. What? That wasn't in the script.
Right, right.
Okay.
Yeah. And so did it make you think like he's working through some issues?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah, I think.
Oh, I got a part for the kid. Give him this part. The part where I chew out that punk.
He has spent decades playing the silent, tough type, so when Jay Leno brought up his secret musical past, Clint tried his best to forget it.
Now, you do everything. You act, you direct, you compose music. Now, you also had a brief singing career for a while, didn't you? I'm just...
No, I didn't. And whoever you have singing on your little screen is not me.
Perhaps this will refresh your memory.
That's my son.
That's your son. No, but this is
My son's actually older than that guy was.
This was $500. When did you do this? It's about 1960 what? One?
Yeah, it was done in one night on the way back, leaving New York. No, it was New York, and they said, we'll knock out this album, and they had a jazz bassist who headed up the session. The session, and jazz bass is great, but to do kind of cowboy tunes, it was an odd choice of things.
No, was it your idea, or was it like the studio's idea?
It was somebody else's idea. If it was my idea, I'm sure as hell I ain't taking it.
Even as he gets older, the Eastwood effect is still very real.
But this is so impressive. What an amazing list of. Do you have like a favorite
Do you have any men out there? I was having an estrogen fallout. Maybe, thank you for being here, fellas.
We are ending with Clint's thoughts on reaching his 90th birthday. He remembers exactly what he used to think about old people when he was a kid, and how much his perspective has changed now that he's the one getting the cake.
Do you care about age? Do you think about like, oh, I'm going to be 90? Does that matter to you?
I don't think about it. I sometimes think, when I was a little kid, and I used to hang out with my grandfather, who was in his 90s, and I thought, Jesus, who the hell want to live this long?
Turns out you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.